With the apparent disappearance of the Viltrumites, there's only one place left for them to go: Earth. In this video, we're going to break down everything that's coming in the season's final episode. So if you don't want to find out what happens next, this is your warning, because from here on out, it's full spoilers. It all begins on Earth. More specifically, at the Pentagon. Thrag and his forces have already arrived. The place is completely destroyed, with bodies scattered everywhere. Thrag grabs Cecil by the throat, ready to kill him. Desperate, Cecil begs for his life and even offers to help him achieve his goals, even if it means humans and Viltrumites coexisting on the same planet. But Thrag's nature is ruthless. He doesn't even consider the offer. His objective is clear: take what he needs and wipe out anything in his way. Then, in a brutal sequence, we see the Viltrumites slaughter Earth's heroes. The Guardians of the Globe fall one by one, including Atom Eve, who is torn in half without mercy. But none of this is real. It's all happening inside Mark's mind. Nolan approaches his son, clearly worried. Something doesn't add up. The Viltrumites haven't shown up, and hiding isn't in their nature. Mark realizes it immediately. The only possibility is that they're already on Earth. Nolan tries to calm him down. They're just a couple of days away, and soon he'll be able to see for himself that everything is fine. The scene shifts to Talascria. Alan, now leading the coalition, has to stay behind. He can't make the trip to Earth. Talia, who doesn't play a major role in the comics, will likely remain by his side in the series as well. During the journey, Tech Jacket approaches Nolan and Mark. He tells them he understands their physical weaknesses, but he'll still do everything he can to be useful in the fight against the Viltrumites. He even mentions that he kept several weapons Alan allowed him to have, thanks to the information Nolan documented in his books. Although in the series it's Zoe who carries the Tech Jacket mantle, this interaction will likely play out differently and feel less confrontational than in the comics. Meanwhile, Nolan can't stop thinking about Oliver. By now, his injuries have likely healed, but that doesn't ease his mind. He's feeling something unfamiliar, real concern. The thought of his son waking up in an unknown place unsettles him, especially not knowing how he'll react. He's also worried about Earth, its people, but above all, Debbie. These are new emotions for him. Or maybe not entirely new. Maybe living on Earth for so long is what changed him. Nolan tries to talk to Mark, but he doesn't respond. He's still trapped inside his own mind. There, he sees Thrag slaughtering his mother, Debbie, and Paul. And the worst part isn't just what's happening. It's the way Thrag mocks him, reminding him that he's not there to save them. Nolan takes control of the situation and gives Zoe clear instructions. Her mission is to locate and free any Earth heroes who may have been captured. Once the presence of Viltrumites is confirmed, the ship must return to Talascria to inform the Coalition and request reinforcements. The problem is time. This entire process would take more than a week. It's far from ideal, but it's the only option they have. At that moment, they're notified that they're about to enter Earth's orbit. The second Mark hears it, he doesn't hesitate. He launches out of the ship with Nolan immediately following behind. Both speed ahead, and when they arrive, everything seems normal. There are no signs of destruction, no trace of Viltrumites. Nolan asks if he's seen any, and Mark confirms he hasn't. In fact, with a slight smile, he says they're not on Earth at all. That sense of relief doesn't last long. The moment they turn around, someone is already standing in front of them. It's Thrag, waiting. Mark, consumed by anger, charges at him without hesitation. He swears he'll take him down if he's harmed Earth or its people, convinced that, just like he defeated Conquest, he'll find a way to beat him too. But Thrag overpowers him effortlessly and makes one thing clear. He hasn't touched the planet, at least not yet. After sending him flying, Thrag tells him he's free to fight, but if Mark so much as manages to hurt him, he can't guarantee the other Viltrumites won't destroy Earth on the spot. Instead of continuing the fight, he proposes something unexpected: a conversation. Thrag explains that only 37 Viltrumites remain alive. Some are badly injured, but even so, they're more than enough to wipe out Earth completely, and there's nothing Mark or Nolan could do to stop it. He even calls it a fair retaliation for what was done to his planet. But he makes something else clear. He wasn't chosen as regent out of revenge, but to ensure the survival of his species. And now he understands this is a war they can't win. So he offers a truce, on one condition. The Viltrumites will surrender, but they'll take Earth as their new home. They'll live in secret among humans, blending in, having children. Mark himself is proof that Viltrumite human hybrids can be nearly as powerful as pureblood Viltrumites. Over time, those descendants will have more children. And eventually, the Empire will rise again, even if it takes thousands of years. In return, Thrag promises not to harm Earth or interfere in its affairs, as long as no one interferes with his plan. Mark doesn't accept right away. What Thrag is proposing isn't peace, it's a delay. If they fight now, there's a chance to defeat them, but Earth, and everything Mark loves, could be lost in the process. If they agree, the Viltrumites will eventually recover and become unstoppable again. But for now, the planet would be safe. It's an impossible choice: face immediate annihilation or accept a destruction that may come later. Mark is forced to confront once again what it really means to say no. In his mind, he sees Earth completely devastated by the Viltrumites. Everything reduced to rubble. Everything he's fought for erased right in front of him. That's enough. With that weight on his shoulders, he makes his decision. He accepts Thrag's proposal. Thrag congratulates him, saying he hasn't just saved Earth, but also spared the Viltrumites from extinction. Something deeply ironic. With the promise that no human will be harmed by his kind, he leaves alongside his people. With the war seemingly over, Nolan and Mark return home and reunite with Debbie after 10 months away from Earth. Oliver isn't with them, but Nolan assures her he's safe and recovering. To give them space, Mark decides to go see Eve. During Nolan and Debbie's conversation, several important details come to light. Nolan learns that Debbie had a relationship with Paul, and that it ended because of Mark's absence. At that moment, Cecil shows up after detecting Nolan's presence. But once he realizes who it is, he quietly backs off, clearly uncomfortable. Meanwhile, Mark arrives to see Eve, and immediately notices a change. She's gained weight, a result of the depression she went through during all that time without knowing what happened to him. But Mark doesn't care about that at all. The moment he sees her, he just pulls her into a hug. At the Pentagon, once it's confirmed that the war is over, Cecil heads to the lab where Dr. Sinclair is keeping the reanimant versions of Invincible. He informs him that his intervention is no longer necessary. At least for now, the project is officially shelved. Meanwhile, Tech Jacket also returns home, hoping to reunite with his parents. He learns that his father is waiting for him at his space station, so Zoe travels there to meet him in what turns into a pretty emotional moment. After that, Eve spends time with Mark and tells him her hero-for-hire business is still running. Bulletproof even stepped in to help while he was gone. They also talk about Eve's new home, but more importantly, she finally opens up. After months without any word from Mark, she admits the constant fear she lived with, that he might be dead. On the other side, Debbie and Nolan continue their conversation, opening up about how they feel. Debbie says all she wants is for things to go back to the way they were. But Nolan is honest with her. He promises that won't happen, because something has changed for good. He will never lie to her again. Mark, meanwhile, has a moment of reflection. Yes, they defeated Conquest, destroyed Viltrum, and brought down the Empire. But the Viltrumites are still out there, now hidden among humans. The war is over, but that doesn't mean they've won. The scene then shifts to Taliskria, where Alan receives an information card. It contains a recorded message from Thydus. He explains that if Alan is hearing this, it means he's dead. The message reveals something critical. There is a weapon he kept hidden because of the Viltrumites allied with the Coalition. But now, given the current situation, he believes it's time to reveal it, because everything suggests things could get even worse. When Alan opens the hidden chamber, he finds the Scourge virus. But this isn't the original version. What stands before him is a far more advanced strain, perfected for one purpose: to make sure that this time, no Viltrumite survives. Thydus ends the message with one final instruction. If all hope of winning the war is lost, Alan must use the virus without hesitation, putting aside any bonds he may have formed with the Viltrumites. All for the sake of the universe. Before signing off, he asks Alan to make sure his death wasn't in vain. And with that moment, the season of Invincible would come to an end. If you made it this far, drop a like and leave your comment. I'll see you in the next one.